If you've ever stopped to think about it, the word smartphone might sound a little funny. After all, how can a phone be smart? It's just a device, right? Yet today we all use that word naturally without giving it a second thought. But behind this name is a story about technology, evolution, and the way language adapts to describe new inventions. In this video, we're going to dig deep into the history of the smartphone, uncover where the term comes from, and explore why we started calling it that in the first place. Let's explore, right here, on History of Simple Things. Let's start with the basics. For decades, the telephone was just that, a telephone. When Alexander Graham Bell and other inventors of the late 19th century worked on early communication devices, they called it the telephone because it literally means distant sound, coming from the Greek words tele, meaning far, and phone, meaning voice or sound. For the longest time, phones were just meant for one thing: transmitting voices across distances. Then came the 20th century, which gave rise to the mobile phone. Portable wireless technology revolutionized communication once again, allowing people to call each other without being tied to a landline. The mobile phone was groundbreaking, but it was still, fundamentally, a phone. Its primary purpose was to make calls, and maybe later, send short text messages. But then came the turning point. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, engineers and companies began experimenting with ways to make the mobile phone do more than just voice communication. Devices like the BlackBerry, Palm Pilot, and Nokia Communicator introduced email access, calendars, basic web browsing, and other digital tools into a single handheld device. These were often referred to as PDAs, or personal digital assistants. And in many ways, they were the direct ancestors of the smartphone. The idea was that your phone could now manage more aspects of your life, not just your conversations. This transition is crucial to understanding where the term smartphone comes from. The first actual use of the word smartphone appeared in the mid-1990s. One of the earliest references comes from 1995, when AT&T released a device called the Phone Writer Communicator. Marketing material at the time used the word smartphone to describe its advanced capabilities compared to regular mobile phones. It was considered smart because it could handle more than voice. It could manage data, connect to networks, and act almost like a mini computer in your pocket. The word smart in technology had already been around before, used in terms like smart cards or smart bombs, where it implied advanced functions or built-in intelligence through electronics and programming. So applying smart to the phone was a natural linguistic step. Fast forward a little, and companies like Ericsson were among the first to officially use smartphone as a product label. In 2000, Ericsson released a device called the R380, and it was marketed directly as a smartphone. This was one of the first times the name really stuck in the public's mind. By combining the functions of a PDA with a phone, it was different enough from regular cell phones to need its own category. Calling it a smartphone not only distinguished it from older models, but also hinted at its ability to think beyond basic communication. Now, why smart and not something else? That has to do with how we associate intelligence with problem-solving and versatility. A dumb phone, as people sometimes call older flip phones or feature phones, could only call and text. A smartphone, by contrast, could run applications, connect to the internet, organize schedules, and even perform tasks that once required a desktop computer. By labeling it smart, marketers and users alike conveyed the idea that this was no longer just a phone. It was an intelligent device capable of adapting to a wide range of needs. The word tapped into the cultural excitement about technology becoming more human-like, more advanced, and more powerful. Another big moment that cemented the word smartphone in everyday vocabulary was the launch of the Apple iPhone in 2007. While Apple didn't invent the smartphone, it popularized it to a level never seen before. Apple itself preferred to call the iPhone a revolutionary internet communicator and avoided leaning too heavily on the term smartphone in its branding. However, journalists, reviewers, and the general public naturally used the word to describe it because the iPhone fit perfectly into the smartphone category. From there, the word became universal. Whether you used Android, iOS, or another operating system, everyone began calling their device a smartphone. Interestingly, the label also reflects a bit about how society thinks about machines. We know phones aren't truly smart in the way humans are. They don't think or feel, but they are capable of running programs, adapting to tasks, and learning user behaviors in limited ways. Over time, as artificial intelligence has become more integrated into our devices, the term smartphone feels even more accurate. With features like voice assistance, predictive text, facial recognition, and AI-powered photography, our phones genuinely perform tasks that appear intelligent, reinforcing the smart aspect of the name. So, when we ask why it's called a smartphone, the answer lies at the intersection of marketing, technology, and language. The term was a way to distinguish advanced mobile devices from basic ones, while also exciting consumers about their new capabilities. It borrowed from earlier uses of the word smart in technology, where it suggested sophistication and electronic intelligence. Over time, the term stuck, and now it's so embedded in our vocabulary that we don't question it anymore. In conclusion, the smartphone isn't just called smart because it's a catchy label. It's a reflection of the technological leap from simple communication tools to multifunctional, adaptable devices that shape every part of our daily lives. The word captures the sense of wonder and intelligence we associate with modern tech. And while the devices themselves might not be truly conscious, the name smartphone perfectly represents their role as clever companions, capable of helping us navigate an increasingly digital world. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.